All right, guys, NFL is finally around the corner. We get a chance to look at these week one spreads. This is just going to be a preview. The official plays are going to be on my Instagram, my Twitter. You can always comment. I'll give out the official plays. We're giving out official plays for free this season. We're going to be cashing in big time. So let's go over these games. Quick preview. Buffalo Bills -1 at the Rams. First game of the season. I'm taking the Bills -1. Nothing official here. I probably am not going to be betting this game. This is a really nasty game. I would advise everybody to just watch this game and enjoy it. Enjoy the opening game of the season. Crack a beer. But, the Rams hosting after winning the Super Bowl, there's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of weird stuff that happens on opening night. And the Bills are coming off of that hangover, just losing to the Chiefs in that nasty game. They gave it their all, and they just got Patrick Mahomes. They just got chiefed at the end. The Chiefs did what the Chiefs do, and they scored with 13 seconds left to send the game into overtime. That's just absolutely ridiculous. So I'll take the Buffalo Bills -1. They're favored for a reason. Heading into the next game, we got the Baltimore Ravens -6 at the Jets. Initially, this line was like -4.5, -5. And I like the Ravens in this spot. When I saw this line, I said, I'm probably taking the Ravens unless this gets to 7. So at -6, I still like the Ravens. I understand everybody likes the Jets this season. The Jets have made some moves. They've made some upgrades. But I still think they're a season or two away. So I would take the Ravens in this spot. The Ravens usually start the season out hot. They usually come prepared. Lamar's in a prove-it year where he's really trying to prove the doubters wrong. So I like the Ravens in this spot. Ravens -6 to cover. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints -5 at the Atlanta Falcons. And this is a game that I'm putting a star next to because I really might bet this game. I really like the Falcons +5 at home. This line opened up at -3.5, and I like it at +5. This is a spread where if you get it at 3.5, you take the underdog. If you get it at 3, you probably don't touch. If you get it at less than 3, you take the favorite. These are two teams in division game. They know each other very well. They play each other very hard. The Falcons were able to beat the Saints last year. The Falcons have had some success against the Saints. And the Falcons getting 5 points with a Marcus Mariota who, he's not a good quarterback, but early in the season when you can't really prep for him, when you don't really know what to expect, he can run the ball and he can make some plays. Like if there's any time to take Marcus Mariota, it's early in the season. The Falcons, they do have a good defensive backfield with the star young player at cornerback, A.J. Terrell. So I like a couple things that the Falcons have in this game. We know that they have Kyle Pitts. He's going to be a weapon that Mariota goes to. And I just think the New Orleans Saints without Sean Payton, new coaching, a lot of new pieces, a lot going on. In week 1, to expect them to win by basically a touchdown in week 1 in an in-division game on the road, rivalry game, it's just asking for a lot. So I'll take this Falcons +5 to cover. Next game, we got the New England Patriots at the Miami Dolphins. The spread is 2.5. The Dolphins are -2.5, and I'll take the Dolphins. Dolphins -2.5, I'll take them. This is one of those ones, just like I said, at 2.5, the favorite. I'll take the favorite in this spot because the Dolphins just have to win by a field goal. The Dolphins, they've upgraded their offense in a lot of ways, getting Tyreek Hill to go next to Jalen Waddle. Tua is going to be getting the ball out of his hands quickly. They're going to be running the ball a lot more this season. So they've done a lot of things. They've tightened up that offensive line. The Dolphins have done a lot of things where the Patriots, we don't really know where the Patriots are right now. We see Mac Jones has been putting in a lot of work in the offseason on his body, but we just don't know what to expect out the Patriots right now. I think the Dolphins are coming in with some momentum, and they usually play the Patriots pretty well, especially early in the season. They play the Patriots pretty well. So I like the Dolphins in this spot, -2.5. Next game, we got the Cleveland Browns -1 at the Carolina Panthers. I'm assuming Deshaun Watson's probably not going to play. So if Deshaun Watson's not playing, and I got the Browns -1 at Carolina, I'm actually leaning Carolina a little bit. I think if there's any game you could bet on Baker this season, if there's any time that Baker's going to stand up and just show that he's a gamer, show that he has some heart, it's probably going to be in week 1. The Panthers, they're probably going to play with some energy. They're probably going to feel like they have a chance, like they have some hope early in the season. And they'll probably dwindle out later in the season as they struggle. But early in the season with Baker Mayfield, with that momentum, with that energy, they're probably going to come out the gates at home. And I bet that they're going to put up a good effort. So I like Baker in this spot. Carolina plus the 1. I wouldn't bet this game, but my lean is Carolina plus the 1. Moving on, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers plus 6.5 at the Bengals. The only reason why I wouldn't officially bet this game is because the Bengals just have burned me so many times, and it's hard to bet against the Bengals right now. But hey, the Steelers plus 6.5, this feels like a Mike Tomlin special. When Mike Tomlin gets this many points, when he gets his good defense, when he gets a quarterback who can just get rid of the ball quickly, and they can enforce the run on teams. Hey, Mike Tomlin getting 6.5 points in a rivalry game, in an in-division game, it's hard not to take it. So Pittsburgh plus 6.5, that's what I'm rolling with. Niners, we got the San Francisco 49ers minus 6.5 at the Chicago Bears. Niners minus 6.5. I think that's the only way you can look, but it's a really nasty game. I wouldn't advise anybody to take this game because, once again, it's week 1. The weak teams are playing with some energy. They still feel like they have a chance. They still feel like they have hope. It's a home game. You're getting basically a touchdown at home. It's Trey Lance, and we don't really know what he's made of at this point. I'm not too big on Trey Lance as of right now, so maybe if this was Jimmy Garoppolo minus the 6.5, I would take this game, maybe. I did take Jimmy Garoppolo when it was minus 4.5 last year. Niners at Bears, and I cashed in big time with that game. So maybe if it was Jimmy, I would run this bet back. But at 6.5, the spread being inflated compared to what it was last year, are the Bears really that much worse than they were last year? Are the Niners really this much better than they were last year for the spread to go from 4.5 to 6.5? And now I have a rookie quarterback at the helm. I just can't do it. I mean, I know he's not a rookie, second-year player, but you guys get what I mean. Rookie starter. I just can't do it. So, yeah, the lean would be Niners minus 6.5, but it's a really nasty game. I'm not touching this game at all. Next game, we got the Eagles minus 4 at the Detroit Lions. I might take this game. I might just take the Detroit Lions plus 4 at home. They've done a lot of things to tighten up that offensive line. They have weapons for Jared Goff. They have a coach who, he might not be the best coach as far as X's and O's, but he really motivates the players. The players really play hard for him. And the Detroit Lions are a sneaky team. They're a sneaky team that can make some moves this year. And at home versus the Eagles team, who the Eagles are great, don't get me wrong, but Jalen Hurts is a guy who we've seen have a lot of success as an underdog. As a favorite, minus 4 on the road to start the season with high expectations, I'm just not sure if I'm going to take Jalen Hurts in this spot. Give me the Detroit Lions plus 4. Next game, and this might be my favorite game as of right now, we got the Indianapolis Colts minus 8 at the Houston Texans, and I love the Texans in this spot, guys. I'll probably end up going official with this play. I'm not confirming it right now, but I'll probably end up going official with this play. The Houston Texans plus 8 at home, getting 8 points, more than a touchdown. Davis Mills, people sleep on Davis Mills. Davis Mills is a really solid quarterback. He can get the job done. I'm not saying he's going to get you to the playoffs. I'm not saying he's going to win a ton of games. But when you get a plus 8 spread, Davis Mills can handle that. Davis Mills can take care of a plus 8 spread at home with a defense that, it's not a lockdown defense, but they play hard. They can get some stops. And with the Colts, it's Matt Ryan's first game. I think of this Colts team not too much like the team that had Carson Wentz, but more like the team that had Phillip Rivers. And that team, they were able to win games, but they lost first week of the season against the Jags. And they also, even though they were beating teams, it wasn't like they were killing teams. That Colts team, they would play teams close, and Phillip Rivers as a game manager would just kind of stay the course, and eventually the Colts would just open the door and win the game, and that's how I see it playing out with Matt Ryan. They're going to win a ton of games with Matt Ryan. They're going to compete. They're going to be a competitive squad, but are they really going to be blowing teams out? Are they really going to blow a team out in division in week 1? This is everything we could ask for. We're getting more than a touchdown in an in-division game, a home dog. It's too much going in our favor not to take this game. I think the books know that people hate the Texans and that the Texans struggled so much last year, and they're trying to dare you to take the Texans, and I'll go ahead and do it, bro. Give me the Texans plus 8. Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars plus 3.5 at the Commanders. This is a game that I haven't really thought about too much. If I'm looking at it face value right now, I probably would lean taking the Washington Commanders because I'm expecting their defense to turn it up a notch. I'm expecting their defense that had a down year last year to wake up a little bit, and I'm expecting them to come out with some energy in week 1 with a new quarterback. I know Carson Wentz isn't he's not the greatest quarterback in the league or anything like that, but He's a quarterback who's a lot more competent than Taylor Heineke or anybody that Washington has had recently. So when you have Carson Wentz, you at least feel like you could win the game potentially. So I like the Washington Commanders. We see that the total is low. It's only 44. So give me the Commanders in this spot, minus the 3.5 at home. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs, minus 3 at the Arizona Cardinals. And in this spot, man, it's really tough. The Cardinals as a home dog, getting plus 3 at home. Vegas is basically saying that the Chiefs are 6 points better than the Cardinals. I don't know about all that, but I do know that the Cardinals won't have DeAndre Hopkins, and I do know that the Kansas City Chiefs are a team that played very, very good to start the season. And I do think that without Tyreek Hill, they are going to try to show and prove. Andy Reid's going to pull tricks out his sleeve, and he's going to try to make a point that they don't necessarily need Tyreek Hill to win games. So I'll take the Kansas City Chiefs continuing their dominance early in seasons, minus 3 on the road. But this is a game that I'd advise nobody to bet. The next game, I got the Las Vegas Raiders, plus 3.5 at the Chargers. This is a tough game. This is going to be a really fun game to watch. And my lean right now would be taking the Raiders. If it was plus 3, or if it was even like plus 2.5 or something, I'd have to start looking at the Chargers. But in division game, a game in LA, which is basically a home game for the Raiders. The crowd is going to be mostly on the Raiders side, especially in a week 1 environment. The Raiders picking up on the pass rush. The Raiders having success against the Chargers recently. I'm not quite sure what to make out of the Chargers coach, if he's really a coach that can win them this division. I know everybody loves the Chargers right now, but I'm not quite sure if that coach is really the one who's going to do it for them. So in this spot, plus 3.5, I'm getting more than a field goal. This is a really, really tough spot. But I would lean the Raiders. I just think this is a spot where you have to take a dog who's kind of at home. So, give me the Raiders in this spot, plus 3.5. Next game, we got the Green Bay Packers, minus 2 at the Minnesota Vikings. I'd have to take the Minnesota Vikings as a dog, plus 2 at home. This is just a game where in division, you got to take the home dog. There's a lot of home dogs. There's a lot of in-division home dogs, and you got to take these home dogs in these rivalry spots. The Vikings always play the Packers well. The Vikings have improved on their offense. The Vikings they brought in a new coach, a new culture, and I'm expecting them to come out there and play hard. We've seen the Green Bay Packers start the season out slow. They struggled against the New Orleans Saints last year to start the season. And then they struggled in the first half against the Detroit Lions in week 2 before finally turning it up and showing just how dominant the Green Bay Packers are. But they started the season out a little slow. Wouldn't be surprised if the same thing occurred here. The Vikings are going to really want this game. I'm not betting this game, but the numbers just say take the Vikings. The Vikings plus 2 in this spot, you kind of just have to take the Vikings and close your eyes in a spot like this. Next game, we got the New York Giants at the Tennessee Titans. The Giants are plus 6.5. I would take the Giants in this spot. This is a lot of points. You're going against the Titans team that's probably not going to be as dominant as they were last year. There's a lot of question marks surrounding Ryan Tannehill. The Giants now, Daniel Jones, and they've gotten some pieces around him. They're finally going to be a little bit more healthy. And I just think that this Giants team can pull off some wins. I don't think this Giants team is like going to the playoffs or like they're just some amazing team, but they can pull off some wins. I wouldn't just necessarily sleep on the Giants because of how much they struggled last year and assume that they can't get the job done here. Plus 6.5 with a Daniel Jones who, if you scheme for him correctly as a coach, if you game plan for him and you give him some running plays and just, put him in a position to succeed, I think that he could handle 6.5 points. I think he could keep it close enough in a low-scoring game. We see that the total is only 44. I can see the Giants in a low-scoring game hanging around just enough, maybe losing by a field goal, maybe losing by 2 field goals, but 6.5, over a touchdown, close to 7, I'd take the New York Giants in this spot. Next game, Sunday Night Football, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, minus 2 at the Dallas Cowboys. And this just feels, call me crazy, this just feels like what the Cowboys do. The Cowboys, I took the Cowboys when they played against the Buccaneers last year to start the season. And we know that the Cowboys covered that spread. The spread, it was crazy. It got up to like plus 9 at some point, I think. I want to say even plus 10 at some point. Everybody was taking the Bucs. But the Cowboys were able to cover that game fairly easy. The Cowboys in this spot +2. A lot of people doubting the Cowboys. They're home dogs. They're playing against a Bucs team that everybody just loves betting on the Bucs, loves betting on Brady. And I just feel like the Cowboys, being the front runners that they are, they could win this game early in the season. They could win a few games early in the season, start off hot, and have everybody believing that they're official. And I'm not saying that the Cowboys are official, but I don't know if they're as bad as everybody thinks that they are. I don't know how much worse they are this season than they were last season. You know, they probably got a little bit worse, but I don't know if they're just terrible compared to what they were last season. So Cowboys as a home dog, I kind of want to take them in this spot, but it's tough. It's tough. The Bucs -2. It's not even a field goal. It's not even a field goal for Brady. It's tough. I wouldn't advise anybody on a Sunday night game. I wouldn't advise anybody to take this game. These Sunday night spots can get really tricky at times. Primetime spots. I would lay off of this, but I guess the sharp play would probably be taking the Cowboys +2. And for the last game, Monday Night Football, last game of Week 1, we got the Denver Broncos at the Seattle Seahawks. Denver is -5. Give me the Seattle Seahawks if Geno Smith is a starting quarterback. And I know Drew Lock is probably going to start, so what I'm saying doesn't really matter. But if Geno Smith is the starting quarterback, Geno Smith is a gamer. He's a guy who, he's not great, but he's going to give it his all. He's a gunslinger. He's going to try to make plays. And I like that. And Drew Lock is like that too. But Drew Lock is just, I don't know. I mean, they're both kind of the same. But Drew Lock, I just have a hard time betting on Drew Lock. He's trash. But the Seattle Seahawks getting 5 points. Pete Carroll in a revenge spot versus Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson with the pressure going back home to Seattle. It's a lot of pressure. It's a big spot. It's on prime time. And if this was later in the season, if this was like week 8 or week 9 or something like that, I probably would take Denver in a heartbeat. But early in the season, it reminds me too much of Tom Brady going against the Patriots last year in week 4, where he struggled against them and Belichick was able to cover and almost win the game. And I just would take the Seattle Seahawks in this spot because they're going to play defense. They're going to run the ball. They're going to keep it low scoring. They're going to try to minimize what Wilson can do. They know Wilson better than any other team. And Wilson's just going to have those first game jitters. He's going to have those jitters of all the expectations that the Denver Broncos have. So I'd like Seattle +5, but I probably would only officially take this game if I knew that Geno Smith was the quarterback. So that's it for the Week 1 previews. I'm going to come back with some official plays, but just an early look. You guys get in the comments. You guys tweet me, DM me. Let me know what you guys think. I want to go back and forth. I want to hear what you guys are on. We're going to make a lot of money this season. Yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace.